Anuruddha Thero from Sri Lanka to lead the blessing. Please welcome.
Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabha sutti bhavam sute Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba dhammanubhavena sabha sutti bhavam sute Bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavam sute Dukkha patha ca nidukkha amaya patha ca nibhaya soka patha ca nisoka hontu sabbhe pithanino Today, Most Venerable Sri Kwang, the President of World Buddhist Sangha Youth and Founder President of Gondasan Temple, Taoyuan in Taiwan. Most Venerable Sir, brothers and sisters in Dhamma around the world. On behalf of World Buddhist Sangha Youth, I would like to thank you, give this opportunity to the worldwide Most Venerable Master Sri Kwang, President of WBSY and leader of our conference. We are very appreciate throughout 19 pandemic situation disturbing to the human world and nature. We are facing a lot of challenges at the moment, economically, physically, and lot of they get in trouble to the human society. I'm very happy. Long time we never see each other during last year. Actually, this year we want to do 18 WBSY conference. Last year we want to do, we cannot do. Most Venerable Sri Kwang Master, they planned to do last year, but situation is massive. Then he get the leadership for the organizing soon meeting 17 WBSY General Conference. I am very thankful for her, give this opportunity to us. Actually, she doing the dynamic service, this situation. She doing lot of charity and physically and lot of way helping to the human society. Especially behalf of Sangha, I would like to thank you. Master Sri Kwang especially donate last month 40,000 USD for give the oxygen and PCR machine to the Sri Lanka hospital. I really appreciate her doing the dynamic service. Today, the second day of the 17 WBSY conference. On behalf of World Buddhist Sangha Youth, I especially warmly welcome Most Venerable Dr. Karandagolle Vijitatissa Thero, Senior Lecturer of Bhikshu University of Anuradhapura in Sri Lanka, and Most Venerable Dhammananga WAB Executive Member and Karnataka, Bangalore in India. And I would like to warmly welcome Most Venerable Bhaddanta Indrayana, President of WBSY Myanmar chapter and the principal of Duwe Buddhist College. He organized 13 WBS conference Duwe in Myanmar 2-3 years ago. I would like to warmly welcome Most Venerable Indrayana. Most Venerable Abbot of what Buddha Ram Temple in Stockholm, Sweden, Venerable Dr. Pra Vitsupanya Pong. I would like to warmly welcome. And Venerable, Most Venerable Dr. Vimalananda, Assistant Secretary of WBSY and Senior Lecturer, Bhikshu University of Anuradhapura in Sri Lanka. Most Venerable Achan Buntang Intawan, Chairman, President of WBSY Laos chapter, and Dr. Madam Nini I, Secretary of WBSY layperson, Vice President of WAB and Vice President of IBC from India, from Myanmar. Madam, I would like to, you are all welcome. You're doing the dynamic social and educational service to the Buddhist world. Most Venerable, next I would like to welcome from Indonesia brother, Dhamma brother, Tan Paul Koshi from Indonesia, Jakarta. I would like to warmly welcome. Next I would like to welcome Boni Lama from WBSY member from Nepal. You are welcome to our conference. We work together, the human and Buddhist society. I would like to especially welcome Mr. Mukuridigal Maggal from senior and researcher from Human Development Concept, doctoral candidate for the public administration in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. I will highly appreciate your valuable speech and great contribution for the success for the 17th General Conference of WBSY. Thank you very much. You are all welcome to today, second day of 17 WBSY Conference. Thank you very much.
Deepest appreciation to Most Venerable
Deepest appreciation to Master Shikwanru and Most Venerable Makumwela Anuruddha Thero for the
most respectable and grateful heart. Let's welcome our most distinguished president.
opening speech.
The president.
Let's welcome our distinguished president of the conference, the president of WBSY, the 48th Great Master of Linji School of Zen Buddhism, the chairman of Gongdasan Buddhism Foundation, the abbot of Taiwan Gongdasan Temple, the Most Venerable Master Shikwanru, for her opening speech. Most welcome.
在此内，也跟我们功德山所有的全球的居士们大家下午好今年的主题呢 就是健康是最大的财富啊。那大家受疫情之苦啊，想来呢来分享啊关于疫情呢这个事情，在大方等大集经卷52，诸魔得净性品第10，魔障的魔啊，里面记载着，若有佛弟子的身与意啊，能够安住在正法，那么顺于正法啊，孝顺的顺啊，顺于正法啊，坚定呢来持守的话，对于我们所造恶的恶法，能够升起羞耻、惭愧心，不愿意互相斗争争讼争名不愿意做这样的染浊浊乱，产生烦恼的业障这样的人呢，连百亿的诸魔都会来赞叹护持你，来增长你的这个精力精气遮止这个疫病，使之不受外邪侵扰，免去疾疫之苦也就是说，我们要坚持着修行不做这些斗乱、争名争利的这些烦恼，那么连魔都不会来障碍你这个是我们想要得到这个远离疫情的最根本的修行。
This year's theme, health is the greatest wealth. This year, we have all suffered from the pandemic, and I would like to share with everyone Volume 52 of Mahavaipuya Mahasamgata Sutra. From Chapter 10, the Maras become respectful and faithful. If there are Buddhist disciples whose body, speech, and mind resides in true Dharma, they will follow and adhere to true Dharma with determination, feel shame for unwholesome doctrines and methods. They are unwilling to engage in conflict, dispute, or fight for fame. Such behaviors that generate impure, lawless, or afflicted karma. Then even hundreds of billions of Maras will praise and protect such Buddhists, enhance their vitality, protect them from disease and pandemic, free them from the invasion of exogenous evil and the misery of pandemic. This means if people could stick to practicing true Dharma without fighting or dispute or fight for fame, away from all this behavior that generate impure, lawless, or afflicted karma, even the Maras wouldn't stop them from doing the right deeds, and such people will be kept away from all disasters or pandemic.
在悲华经卷6就有提到如何这个就是行善呢增广我们行善的力量能够如何令疾病消除消散在诸菩萨本受记品里面说，教化一切众生令一切众生呢安住于六合境六合法中呢 也能安住在这个四摄法啊，四摄法就是救度众生的这样的一种意念里。那众生所有的极恶黑暗，当令灭尽啊，就是我们要去教化众生啊，众生都能够有六合境啊，大家就不会斗乱呐，不会争吵啊，都能够安住啊，并且呢自己不会争吵，并且又努力的去救度众生啊，这样这个极恶就会消除。
Volume 6 of Karuna Pandarika Sutra, which means the Sutra of Lotus-like compassionate Dharma, mentions how doing good deeds can eradicate diseases. The chapter of the holy prognosticative ordination of Bodhisattvas, it says, educate all beings, let them all ensconce in the 6 methods of reverence and harmony, as well as the 4 methods of winning people over. That means the will of saving and helping all beings. Then all disease and pandemic, ignorance and darkness will be completely eliminated.
那众生假如在苦难之中还能够修这个六合境啊，六合境是身和同住啊，口和无争，意和同悦，戒和同修，见和同解，力和同均啊，又能够呢和修四摄法啊，对众生彼此呢来修布施啊，彼此爱于力行跟同事，这样不但不会起纷争，反而还会彼此帮助啊，互相包容啊，鼓励啊，支持啊。由于人与人呢能够建立起和悦共融啊，这样呢是充满正法光明的力量，这样能够使极恶黑暗灭尽。
If beings in suffering can practice the 6 methods of reverence and harmony, that is, physical harmony through living together, verbal harmony through avoiding dispute, mental harmony through shared happiness, moral harmony through upholding the same precepts, harmony in views through sharing the same understanding, benefit harmony through sharing equally, as well as practice the 4 methods of winning people over: giving, kind words, altruism, empathy, and if they do not initiate disputes, help each other, tolerate, support, and encourage each other. This congenial harmony among humans is a power filled with the light of true Dharma that can eliminate the darkness of disease and pandemic.
若能够持戒修定发菩提心，自能与经典的义理来相应那明白缘起性空的道理，能够建立正法对事理不执着不生烦恼，不生忧恼近者呢对当今人世的不起烦恼，远者呢能从这个空性呢当中来发大心以自己所学的东西呢的佛法来度众生离苦得乐。如此呢 能利己利他之贤人呐，这样的贤能的人呢，自己就会感召诸佛菩萨的来守护，令这个国家的疾疫就会散除。
If one can uphold precepts, practice meditative concentration, develop bodhicitta, one will naturally correspond to sutras, doctrines, and dharma, understand the meaning of dependent origination and empty nature, establish a sense of true dharma, and when faced with matters of principles, one does not give rise to attachment, annoyance, or sorrow, then in the short run, one will not give rise to afflictions against people or matters. And in the long run, one will inspire great body mind based on the empty nature with a willingness to use one's knowledge to help all beings out of misery. Such a wise and virtuous man that can benefit both self and others will naturally have the protection from Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and the pandemic in his country will naturally dissipate.
还有我们若能够做无畏的布施，对人家有这个比方说我们放生啊，不伤害众生啊，救护众生啊，这一种都是无畏的布施财布施、无畏布施。那这样的话就无有刀兵就不会有遇到刀兵劫也不会有这个水灾、火灾的这样的一种灾难也不会有这个疾疫横死也没有这个怨敌，就会无病安稳，无病安稳远离水灾、火灾、疾疫的种种恐怖。那救度众生为众生呢去除种种的恐怖我们救度众生，众生就没有恐怖啦在长远的利益呢就是我们未来所到之处呢也都会远离恐怖。这个就是我们利他，其实也是在利益自己所以我们对众生不要有恐吓啦、威胁啦、伤害啦、起害心日后我们就会安稳另外财布施呢，特别是布施这个三宝呢也是帮助自己远离这个疾病之难经上曾经说过若能以一颗药果有疗效的这个水果，或是你的供养僧众医药啦都是可以的。起这个殷勤的清净心法喜清净心来奉施给这个僧众，这样呢在来世呢决定不逢这个疾疫灾劫啦，就不会遇到这个瘟疫或是这个灾难自然就会带来长久的健康。
Also, if one engages in giving fearlessness, such as freeing creatures, not hurting beings, one will neither encounter nor suffer from unnatural death from wildfire, disaster, or pandemic. One will have no fear against resenting enemies, have no illness, enjoy a stable life, and also be free from the fear of fire, flood, and pandemic. When one liberates beings and frees them from all kinds of horror and fear, in the long term, it will lead to the benefit that one's surroundings will also be free from such horror and fear. Thus, benefiting others also benefits oneself. As a result, we shall not create fear feelings or threaten other beings, and do not harm all beings. As a result of such good deeds, we will have a stable life. In addition, the giving of wealth, especially offering to the triple gems, which means Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, also keeps one away from the suffering of pandemic. According to the sutra, if one would offer monastics an herbal fruit or any fruit with curing, or any kind of medication with a pure mind, one will never encounter the disaster of pandemics of all future lives.
健康是最大的财富啊，虽然生命是虚幻，本来就有生老病死，但佛说我们要观察这个我们这个身是不坚固的身，要以亲近正法的善知识、高僧大德来侍奉供养，以换取我们成佛坚固不坏之身还有佛说利益佛法的人呢能够不病不老不死，这个也是永久的健康。
Health is the greatest wealth. Although life is elusive, and life involves birth, aging, illness, and death, the Buddha said, we shall observe that the body is not permanent and breakable. We should follow true Dharma, follow benevolent Dharma friends, and virtuous monastics, serve and make offerings to achieve Buddha's body, which is staunch and unbreakable. Also, the Buddha said that anyone who contributes to true Dharma will not get sick, will not age, and will not die.
另外呢我们提到忍辱忍辱就是不随逆境起烦恼、起愤怒、起嫉妒跟这个残取种种烦恼也不抵抗、不对付对方的基础上就是不以牙还牙更发起这个慈悲心希望所有恼害的众生呢都能够得到解脱如此的由于忍辱而升起的广大的这个慈悲心这样呢能够使国土无恐怖纷争人呢不相害大家都要广结善缘那么这样呢机遇自然就不会出现了。
Also, I'd like to talk about forbearance. That is, one will not give rise to afflictions such as annoyance, resentment, jealousy, and flattery under unpleasant situations, but instead can further inspire compassion on the basis of not resisting or going against others, and wishing for the liberation of all harm and troubled beings. Such vast and magnificent compassion resulting from forbearance will lead to a country without fear of fighting. Human beings will not harm each other, and as a result, pandemics will naturally stay away.
若人呢能发广大的菩提心，那么来持诵大悲咒，自己忏悔业障，并且能够代替众生求忏悔，那口中大悲咒没有断绝，这样呢，此生能够证到阿罗汉，这一生不求自得阿罗汉。若有慧观者，能够有空性的智慧观察呢，则能证上实地，乃至佛地。
One can aspire vast and magnificent bodhisattva, recite and uphold the great compassion mantra, repent one's own bad karmic hindrance, as well as repent for all beings, and chant the mantra unceasingly. One can attain arhathood in this life without the effort of pursuing. If one could contemplate one's own thoughts and everything he observed with voracious aspect and emptiness wisdom, one could achieve the 10 stages of the Bodhisattva and even attain the Buddhahood.
经上讲，持大悲咒，十方诸佛都来放光加持，一切灾难就会远离。所以，我们健康的疫苗就是我们修行正法，和发菩提心，及我们的布施、持戒、忍辱、精进、禅定、般若、菩萨的六度万行。
When one recites and upholds the great compassion mantra, the Buddhas of the 10 directions will come and bless with illumination, and all calamities will stay away. Thus, the vaccine for health is to practice the true Dharma, aspire Bodhisattva, practice giving, uphold precepts, forbearance, assiduity, meditative concentration, transcendental wisdom, and follow Bodhisattva's 6 perfections and 10,000 deeds.
还有持诵大悲咒，能令疫情退散，生活安乐，并且长寿，并且能够除去一切病，大家都持大悲咒，都能健康无病长寿。那等一下，会来为大家持咒，祈福，把平安吉祥的财富送给大家。
Reciting and upholding the great compassion mantra can eradicate the pandemic, bring stability, happiness, and longevity, and keep away all illnesses. If we all practice and chant the great compassion mantra, all will stay healthy and enjoy a long life. Later, I shall chant the great compassion mantra and bless for everyone. And I would like to gift upon everyone the wealth of peace and auspiciousness. By the end of today's conference, the most venerable Master Shi Guanru will chant the great compassion mantra for everyone and bestow blessing and give everyone the wealth of peace and auspiciousness. Thank you, Most Venerable Master Shi Kuan Ru, for your outstanding speech. Now let's
Thank you,
welcome
Most Venerable Master Shi Kuan Ru, for your outstanding speech.
Venerable Karen Dagoli Vijitasa.
Let's
Sarah.
welcome Senior Lecturer, Bhiksu University of Sri Lanka, Venerable Karadangoli Wityatsa Theo from Sri Lanka.
Good afternoon, everybody. Most Venerable Master Sri Kuan Ru, the
Good
President of
afternoon, everybody.
World Buddhist Sangha Youth,
Most Venerable Master Shi Kuan Ru,
Abbot of Gondasan Temple in
President of WBSY,
Most Venerable
Abbot of Gundasan Temple,
the Secretary General of World Buddhist Sangha Youth, and the Abbot of Anuruddha Arana Temple, Matale in Sri Lanka, and honorable speakers and Dhamma friends. It is great pleasure to join as a speaker at the
it is an
17th
honor to join as a speaker
Sangha Youth.
for the 17th WBSY conference.
I want to express my congratulations
I would like to express my congratulations and best
for
wishes
the 17th
for the 17th
and
WBSY General Conference and the organizing committee.
Most Venerable Mugunuwele Anuruddha Nayakatheda and Most Venerable
The Most Venerable Mukunawela Anuruddha Thero and Most Venerable Master Shi Kuan Ru.
Strengthening the health
Today, I would like to speak about strengthening the health
spirituality.
through practicing Buddhist spirituality.
Allow me to share my slide, please. Okay, thank you. Strengthening the health through spiritual practicing Buddhist spirituality. When we talk about
Strengthening the health through practicing Buddhist spirituality.
other organizations accepted several aspects of health, namely
There are several aspects of health,
social health,
namely physical, social,
emotional health, environmental,
spiritual,
mental,
emotional, social, environmental, and health, and mental health.
When we refer the term health, it comprises many dimensions, many aspects. Therefore, I thought
When we refer to health, there are many dimensions.
spirituality.
I am focusing on spirituality.
I think this term is familiar with all of us because some of
We
us
are familiar with this term
spiritual leaders and
because we are spiritual leaders.
you practice spirituality. Therefore, the term is more familiar for all of us. Therefore, I have given.
We are especially familiar with this term.
Scholars to understand the meaning of spirituality in some kind of academic way. The feelings, experiences, and behavior that arise from
The feelings, experiences, and behaviors that arise from a search for the sacred.
The physical life and the spiritual life.
There is the physical life and the spiritual life.
Fullness, deserving them to respectedness is called the sacredness. Therefore, whatever the experience that we have,
The experience that we have
when searching our secret,
when searching for our sacred
called spirituality.
is called spiritual.
Transcendental dimension, going beyond
On the other hand, transcendent dimension,
we all need to go beyond of the current situation.
as human beings, we have to transcend and go beyond.
Especially here, spirituality refers to the going beyond the above mental level than that we have. At the
We have to go beyond the level that we have.
encompassing very
Human potential encompassing varied facets such as love, compassion, and purpose.
in sum, shortly, we can mention that spirituality is our inner development, mental development.
Spirituality is also our inner development.
The major concept today in my talk, which is
Now I will share with you the major concept of my speech.
spirituality is none other than
Buddhist
the
spirituality is none other than the Noble Eightfold Path,
way of practicing spirituality in Buddhism. Why?
the Noble Eightfold Path is the way of practicing Buddhism.
The practicing of Noble Eightfold Path transform one's view, intention, state,
The path
action,
transforms one's views,
effort,
intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration into right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right mindfulness, and right concentration. This is the most important aspect of Noble Eightfold Path. This path leads us to the right view. This path also leads to achieving the ultimate spiritual achievement in Buddhism known as attaining Nibbana or complete liberation.
Next, we can identify two levels of spiritual practices.
We can identify two levels of spiritual practices in Buddhism: the ennobling level and the noble level.
Training is required to alleviate the suffering and cultivate.
The ennobling or fundamental level is needed to alleviate the suffering and development of inner well-being.
Secondary level,
The secondary level training
Noble Eightfold Path. This
leads to attaining
definitely
Nibbana.
will lead to the attaining of Nibbana. This is the two different levels of training, mindfulness, and
These are the two different levels of training mindfulness.
identify three major components
We can identify three major components of Buddhist spirituality practice.
concentration training and panya with right livelihood,
moral training, constant training, and wisdom training.
and right effort, right mindfulness, and
Right speech, right action, right livelihood are the components of sila or moral training. Right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration are the focus of samadhi.
In brief, these three types of training.
I will now explain in briefly these three different types. We have to avoid false speech, slanderous speech, harsh speech, and pointless talk.
It's difficult to avoid this type of word. Therefore,
We have to avoid this type of speech.
Noble Eightfold Path should be determined
Everybody practicing the Noble Eightfold Path
word
need to be mindful of these actions and speech.
and engaging in wholesome behavior. This is
We have to avoid harmful behavior and engage in wholesome behavior.
all kinds of harmful behavior. We are not
As Buddhists, we have to avoid all types of harmful behavior.
we want to see all the people in the world happy and healthy.
We want everybody in the world to be happy.
Should be all
Therefore, our behavior has to be wholesome.
is for the lay person, especially, we have to earn money for our day-to-day needs.
For laypersons who have to earn money from their day-to-day actions,
We should earn
how do we do this?
legally
Respecting the Eight Noble Path.
our value system. If we violate our value system, when
We cannot violate our
our daily
system,
then we are against the moral training.
so we have to do
My Dharma friend,
with right livelihood.
we have
We should earn legally and honestly
our needs day to day
without going against the value system.
in Buddhism. Next, the important point here, concentration training.
Next, I will speak about concentration training.
Concentration training is based on meditation. As Buddhists,
Concentration training is based on meditation.
traditions, we all practice meditation because
We all practice meditation
the important way transforming
because it is the important way to transform ourselves
higher level or
to a higher level or higher state.
energy commitment to avoiding unskillful states of
A
mind.
person's mental energy and commitment to avoiding the unskillful state of the mind and maintaining a skillful state of mind.
Feeling
That's right effort.
the effort to maintain, develop, and
Right concentration is the wholesome unification of the mind, observing
wholesome unification of the mind, one-pointedness of our mind. This
one-pointedness of the mind is right concentration.
Buddhist not allowed to do one-pointedness or concentration with unwholesome objects. Therefore, we should keep in mind when practicing meditation,
We as Buddhists must keep in mind,
our mind, our concentration on
focus on the concentration
and
of wholesome
right mind
unification of the mind. Right mindfulness
in the things
is observing,
we
noting, seeing
can
things as they are,
the cause-effect relationship
to understand cause and effect relationships of the environment.
and the others and the surrounding and the environment as it is called mindfulness. And the last
Mindfulness is seeing everything as it is.
through training of sila,
Lastly,
samadhi, the
wisdom training
the wisdom, right? In wisdom training, we are trained to see
In wisdom training,
permanent
we are trained to see the world as impermanent.
and we are unable to control even
There are many factors that we are not able to control.
as our experience. We want to control, but we are unable to control because
As we experience, we wish to control but are unable to.
origination, right? And abandoning seeking happiness by fulfilling one's desire and abandoning
So we have to avoid bad deeds that avoid bad consequences and do good that produces good.
by
We should abandon seeking happiness by fulfilling one's desire and abandoning an attachment to worldly things.
this way, if we behave, we are not able to satisfy ourselves. Therefore, we have to spread loving kindness and great compassion.
We have to focus on loving kindness and compassion.
And
This is all part of wisdom training.
I want to
And in
mention
conclusion,
that there are number of aspects in
there are a number of different aspects in health.
Spirituality
One of them is the spirituality,
on the Noble Eightfold Path.
and the spiritual aspect is based on the Noble Eightfold Path.
Dear Dharma friends, try to practice
Dear Dharma friends,
Eightfold Path and
we must try to follow the Noble Eightfold Path,
your intention into right intention, etc.
and we have to focus on right view, right intentions, right actions, right livelihood, so that we can all attain Nibbana. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity.
Give my gratitude and thanks to Most Venerable Master Sri Kuan.
Thank you again to Most Venerable Master Shikwanru for organizing this conference
During this pandemic situation and
via Zoom during this pandemic.
congratulations and thankfulness to the
Would also like to extend my hearty congratulations to Master
to do this
Most Venerable Anuruddha Thero.
Namo Amitabha and may
Thank you. Namo Amitabha.
Now let's welcome the most venerable.
Thank you.
Please welcome.
Let's welcome Most Venerable Damang from India.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Venerable,
Okay. Are you listen to me?
welcome. Please.
Okay. First, I go to the homage. Buddha.
First, I
Dhamma.
would like to pay homage to all the Venerable Sangha.
It is my pleasure. Today, give me chance
It is a pleasure for me today to share
WBSY 17th General Conference.
with you during the 17th WBSY Conference.
Anuruddha,
Most Venerable Anuruddha Thero, Secretary General of WBSY,
is- and thanks to all speakers worldwide
Thank you to all speakers worldwide. Venerables, Dhamma brothers and sisters.
Today's subject is health is a great
Today's topic is health is the greatest wealth.
importance in Buddhism. Without health and without wealth,
Without health and without wealth,
without goal of Nibbana.
we cannot reach the goal of Nibbana.
In the Buddhism, when we start a Buddhist practice,
In Buddhism, when we started with this practice,
Buddhist spirituality is associated with the end of suffering through the enlightened knowledge of reality. The holy life of the Buddhist follower and in the kinds of practice they perform and not in any
it
belief,
is to end the suffering.
seek for the compassion and wisdom.
Buddhism is to seek for compassion and wisdom.
To follow the noble path laid down by Lord Buddha.
We have to follow the Lord Buddha's 8 Noble Path
And following the 5 laws of life. Buddhist practice
Buddhist practice
are a way of altering the lives of human beings in order to extend the quality of awareness. Kindness,
helps us
wisdom,
extend kindness, wisdom.
a Buddhist ritual. which are
There are 4 main types of
practiced
Buddhist
by
ritual
their followers.
practiced by their followers.
Refuse. This is probably the most significant ritual connecting people to the Dhamma. This is the oldest and common ritual throughout the most Buddhist tradition. Offering homage to respect to the Buddha.
Offering homage or respect is the basis of
area of
Buddhism.
Buddhist life
Other important areas of Buddhist life,
or practice dana.
practicing of dana,
Of fault,
confession of fault,
ceremony,
precept ceremony,
spiritual force for support or protection, blessing,
blessing,
inspiration, and
aspirations,
prayer.
and prayers.
Dedication of merit,
Dedication of merits,
such as a wedding and funeral.
occasions such as weddings and funerals, ordinations,
Mind and body in Buddhism.
mind and body in Buddhism.
Mind and body in Buddhism. All living beings are born
All living beings are born
of mind and body.
with mind and body.
Buddha. Buddha does not believe in the existence of soul.
In the existence of
He
soul,
believes that the mind manages human behavior.
and the mind
Body develops
controls human behavior,
is considered as the deed of body.
and our actions
That the mind is not
are deeds of the mind.
but is modifies its movement. One component of thought has
One component of thought
the chitta or consciousness and chaitasika. The allied mental factors.
are the mental sectors.
This thought is explained in the Abhidhamma. Most people are not the conscious that the mind is more significant than the body, and that the body is manipulated by the mind.
Some people think that the mind is more significant than the body, and that the body is manipulated by the mind.
Rupa.
Diseases are caused by an impure mind.
According to Buddha,
According to Buddha,
the shape of four causes, Kamma, Chitta,
shaped by four causes,
Ahara,
kama, sita, uta, and ahara.
or intention of past thought.
Kama
Chitta
is the intentions of past thoughts.
Utu is the
Chitta
and
is the
Ahara
present thoughts.
is the
Uta
nutrient
is a heat.
in the food.
And ahara is the nutrient that one
Outside
takes.
matter is only cause of Utuja.
Outside matter is only caused by heat.
The matter which is from of all four causes.
Human bodies have matter which is formed by all four causes, out of which two are based on the mind,
Chitta.
kamaja and
Point
chitta.
to the meaning of controlling
The point to the control meaning of controlling and developing the mind
the body.
to have a healthy and hearty body.
Understanding health in Buddhism.
Understanding health in Buddhism.
Health related to the way. Also
The meaning of health relates to the ways
the cause of illness.
of the cause of illness,
To be concerned for patients.
the way to be concerned
Increase
for
health,
patients, or the way to increase health.
free from all anguish.
Health is a state of being wholly free from all anguish, which is also nibbana.
Mangadya Sutta,
Lord Buddha said,
get health.
this is that health,
Nirvana,
this is that nibbana,
highest way,
or health is the highest gain.
the highest bliss
Nibbana, the highest bliss,
of way.
and of ways.
So lead to the
The Eightfold Path leads to deathlessness, to security.
illness is the outcome of karma.
Illness is the outcome of karma,
Yes, life.
law of cause and effect.
Holistic in nature
Health is holistic in nature.
are important.
Therefore, mental cures are important.
That a spirituality alert
Few
person
Buddhists
become a sick.
believe that spiritually alert person will not become sick.
Human body.
If illness occurs in the human body,
That a cure can be
people are of the belief that a cure can be gained by thinking positively or using medicinal herbs.
to presume
If you presume
that if they will expose
that if they expose their body to harsh natural conditions,
likely to fall sick,
they are less likely to fall sick
their immune system will be pressed up.
because their immune system will be strengthened.
Understanding daily.
Understanding healing.
He who attains
He who tends to the sick tends to me.
activity
Healing is a trail of activities
of physical from
for the restitution of physical form
organization.
from a troubled, diseased, or damaged organism.
Healing is the minute time compared with
Healing is a many time compared with the thought of in-depth, vivid, and spirituality.
So, the path to the state of health.
Spiritual healing shows the path to health,
Specific movement of the body,
highlights on meditation,
of the person
specific movements of the body, so that the health is rescheduled to its normal health.
to look after the sick.
The Buddha expected his followers to look after the sick.
Empathetic,
A caregiver should also be sympathetic,
not paid
kind,
by saliva,
and not be nauseated by saliva, phlegm, urine, stool, or sores of the patient.
contemplation.
He recommended the contemplation of the 7 limbs of enlightenment, which are mindfulness,
investigation,
investigation,
striving, joy,
striving, joy, serenity, meditative trance, samadhi, equanimity.
meditation on this
Therefore,
was the process of overcoming
meditation on these factors is a process of overcoming inner poisons of envy, anger, illusion. Liberation is the outcome of healing, according to Buddha.
the Buddha said.
The Buddha said, beings of the future may hear the names of the 2 bodhisattvas,
and supreme healer
the king of healing and supreme healer,
by achieving the first state.
by achieving the 5 prerequisites.
One should show
First,
loving kindness on others.
one should show loving kindness on the others.
Should abstain from the following.
Second, one should abstain from following unwholesome deeds in life.
We should have peace.
Third, one should have peace and calmness in life.
Listen to the text.
4, one should listen to the text of Mahayana and Theravada Buddhism.
The
5th,
eternity of Buddha.
one should believe and have faith on the eternity of Buddha, and one must always abide by the truth.
Buddhist healing practice.
Buddhist healing
Dr.
practices.
Buddha discovered that enlightenment could not come only when there was a
Gautama Buddha discovered that enlightenment could only come when there was a healthy mind in a healthy body. Spiritual development can only come when one avoids hedonism,
mortification of the body,
devotion to pleasure or asceticism, mortification of the body.
surrendering oneself and liberating his mind.
Healing in Buddhism involves surrendering oneself and liberating his mind so that they can work for the good of the people.
Is the key to one.
Welfare of others is a key to one's own healthiness.
Is the architect of all happiness.
Karma
and
is the architect of all happiness and misery.
affirms
Buddhism affirms that for long-lasting healing to take place, it is essential to heal not only the existing disease
and other methods
with proper medications and other methods of treatment,
the root of
but also
the disease.
the root of the disease,
Initiate from the mind,
which initiated from the mind.
the concept of ultimate healing.
This brings in the concept of ultimate healing.
The notion of reading all the negative thought.
This promotes the notion of ridding all the negative thoughts away from the mind of individuals. Only then,
He or she can
with a healthy mind,
master in life.
is a secret to one's healthy body.
Kind word and act
One
helpful in
must not be selfish in nature.
expression.
It is only then that he can help heal faster in life.
Hello, neighbor.
Kind words and acts are helpful in bringing in expectations and console a vulnerable patient.
Are inspiration
Metta and Karuna
Dhamma Vihara
are inspirational sentiments.
of the enlightenment aspect.
Narration of the enlightenment aspects
Is a functional in
is functional in healing physical disorders.
the 10 perception of the
The
body.
10 perceptions
Living consciousness, body,
put forward by Buddha on healing are based on impermanence, egolessness, pollution of the body,
displacement,
evil consequences, abolition,
impermanence,
aloofness, cessation,
thing and
disillusionment with the entire world,
it is
and impermanence of all things.
with
and mindfulness of breathing.
the
It
different
is thus by these ways
practice of
that Buddha has proclaimed the different spiritual healing practices to his followers. Healing and psychotherapy.
Till now, the celebrated physiologists like
Well-known and celebrated psychologists
and
like William James, Carl Jung, and Eric Fromm
Buddhist philosophy
viewed that much of the importance in Buddhist philosophy
on mental
is in its constructive impact on mental health.
practitioner.
Contemporary health practitioners
The fact that
have gathered facts which maintain the fact that Buddhism possesses the secret to the healing of the mind of individuals. Mental health
by following
can be looked after properly by following the principles laid down in Buddhism.
defined as the treatment of emotional behavior
Psychotherapy is defined as treatment of emotional, behavioral, character disorders
upon
based chiefly upon verbal or nonverbal communication.
Buddhism is a course of mind schooling.
Buddhism is a course of mind schooling.
Physiotherapy is founded
Buddhist psychotherapy is founded on the Buddhist model
mental suffering
of the cause of mental suffering
and the concept of attachment, internalness,
and the conceptions of attachment,
fact of self
eternalness,
as the force
adhering to the fact of self as the forces of mental suffering.
judgment, outlook, and
It deals with self-knowledge, judgment, outlook, and measures to reduce the psychological suffering.
the higher teaching of the Buddha
The Buddhist philosophy talks about the human mind and its pathological and non-pathological sections.
portrayed as
In
a
Abhidhamma,
physical being consisting
Buddha analyzes the human mental progression
of both mind and matter.
of both mind and matter.
Deal with
The Buddhist Jataka storybook deals with DSM,
of mental
Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders,
mental illness.
which is based on mental illness.
Physiotherapy is based on the
Buddhist psychotherapy is based on the Buddhist replica of the cause of mental affliction.
It has the constructive impact on
It has a constructive impact on mental health, and it can be used to take care of a wide variety of mental illnesses of human beings.
meditation and healing.
On meditation and healing.
Meditation is a coordinated mind and body.
Meditation is a coordination of mind-body performance
Converting the mind.
and deliberate effort that helps in converting the mind.
Observed as the work
In Buddhism, meditation is observed as one of the processes of the Eightfold Path.
based on
The theory of mindfulness is based on Vipassana meditation technique.
as a practice.
Mindfulness is explained
Put the concentration
as a practice of knowledge to put concentration on moment by moment understanding with an approach of inquisitiveness,
and
openness, and acceptance.
meditation call to mind a state in
Vipassana meditation calls to mind a state of increased perceptual lucidity and decreased programmed reaction. Metta meditation
loving kindness meditation
or loving kindness meditation is largely used by many admirers.
empathy
It increases the feelings of kindness and empathy for both self and others. Anapasti meditation or mindfulness of breathing is a meditation developed by the Buddha.
Discourse of the foundation of mindfulness.
Which is the great mindful discourse on the foundations of mindfulness. Mindful breathing increases oxygen intake and has stress reducing impact. These processes in turn make the human beings heal faster and lead a healthy lifestyle. Prayer and healing in Buddhism.
Fill the stream
Just as the soft rains fill the streams,
and join together.
pour into the rivers and join together in the oceans.
May the power of every moment of your goodness
So may the power of every moment of your goodness
awaken and heal all beings.
flow forth to awaken and heal all beings,
Those gone before,
those here now, those gone before, those yet to come.
Lord Buddha. Prayer or chanting.
Lord Buddha,
Buddhism, generally
prayer or chanting in Buddhism is generally in Pali and is proposed to pay reverence to the triple gems, the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and to remind the individuals of the noble qualities of Buddha and his instructions. It tries to secure blessings and safeguard of oneself.
Now prayer for its
One of the widely known prayers for its healing effect
Bhujangayana
is Bojjhanga Parita.
Parita implies
Parita implies
the
protection,
factor of enlightenment.
and Bojjhanga refers to the 7 factors of enlightenment, Bodhinana.
Word of illness,
It is chanted to ward off illness and to promote healing among individuals.
the Theravada
It is a tradition among the Theravada community to chant prayers for the welfare of the sick,
spinning the written from of the
spinning the written form of the mantra
mini
around in a money wheel
is also believed
is also believed
healing in all
to give the individuals healing in all aspects of one's life.
it is believed that the truth of Dhamma
It is believed that the truth of the Dhamma and the Buddha, boundless compassion, embodies in the verses
of the
chanted have great power to promote healing.
concept of giving the healing.
The concept of giving and healing.
Dana or giving is another way of healing.
Dana of giving is another way of healing of individuals.
Gift
It involves the giving of material gifts
to
to individual monks
poor
or to the poor
downtrodden.
and the downtrodden.
The giving of spiritual gift
The giving of spiritual gifts
to those
to those
of need,
who are in need.
need of it. It is also involve the sharing to time,
It also involves the sharing of time, power, wisdom,
for the benefit
and experience for the benefit as well as welfare of others.
people who practice dana is seen by
People who practice dana is seen by the practitioners to heal faster. Voluntary offerings
heal
and doing good
as well, soul and positive effect which
for the people enhances one's soul and spirit
individual to heal from their
and brings in positive impact in the minds of the individuals
alone cannot restore.
which thereby helps the individuals to heal from their ailments.
Can heal the mind by
Even if dana alone cannot restore health
as the mind can
from the deadly disease,
manipulate.
it can heal the mind by eroding away all the negative thoughts.
Recover
As the mind can manipulate the body, physical health recovers when the mind is sound. This happens when dana is given in true compassion, consideration, and devoid of any self-interest. Therefore, such altruistic feelings
Nibbana, which is the ultimate goal.
can lead one to reach nibbana, which is the ultimate goal of Buddhism.
Pali word meaning there three basket.
Healing in Tripitaka.
Contain the three basket of teaching.
Tripitaka
Of Vinaya Pitaka,
is a Pali word meaning three baskets. It contains the three baskets of teachings:
both the
Sutra, Pitaka, and Vinaya. Pitaka
in the holy book that one must start the treatment
can cure any kind of diseases of both mind and body.
the mind of individual.
The Buddha devoted his complete life to passing down the information of the Tripitaka.
Quick recuperation in his health condition.
If a mind can be healed of its wound, then a person can have a quick recuperation in his health condition.
Buddhist religion is the
In conclusion,
Eastern religious to
Buddhist religion is one of the contemporary Eastern religions in comparison to other religions in the world.
the mind and body healthily is
Keeping both the mind and body healthy is important. For the body is a vehicle
the Dhamma.
that we use to practice the Dharma.
The body are two interdependent parts of
The mind and the body are two interdependent parts of the human body,
coordination.
which must have proper coordination with each other.
The health for the body is influenced by
The health of the body is influenced by the health of the mind.
Buddhism is measured as a medication with
Buddhism is measured as a medication with an extensive overview.
who is considered as the great doctor as well. The
Buddha was considered as a great doctor as well as healing giver.
greed, anger, lust, selfishness,
He proclaimed that greed, anger, lust, selfishness, and so on must be abandoned by all individuals.
serve the common
They
people.
must serve the common people who are in distress.
Distress. Thus, Buddhism has the play
Thus, Buddhism has played a significant role
continuity spirituality
in uniting spirituality and medicine,
also in the
not only in the East,
this is my
but also in the West.
speech for to everyone because health and wealth very big importance.
Thank you, the most venerable Dharmanak.
Thank you, the most venerable Dhammanak, for your excellent speech. Now let's welcome the president of WBSY Myanmar, Venerable Bandanta Inda Nana from Myanmar.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Dhamma Sambuddhassa အားလုံးမင်္ဂလာပါလို့ နှခေါ်ဆက်တာပါတယ်အခုလို COVID-19 ကာလကြီးမှာ Zoom meeting ကနေ19ကြိမ်မြောက် WBSY အစည်းအဝေးကြီးမှာအရှင်ဘုရားတို့ခုလိုတက်ရှိထင်ရှားပေါ်လေသူမြင်နေရတဲ့အတွက်အထူးပင်ဝမ်းမြောက်ပါကြောင်းဒီဘော့စင်ပေးကြတဲ့ဘေကုနီရှိကုံရုံ
Good afternoon, Most Venerable Master Shikwanru, President of WBSY. Most Venerable Magunawela Anuruddha Thero, Secretary General of WBSY, and all brothers and sisters of WBSY.
ဝိသသပါရမမြာတိနိဗ္ဗာန်ပါရမစုခံအနာယောဂကင်းခြင်းသည်အလောကဲဆိုလရောက်ရမှုသည်အလောကဲ
The topic for the WBSY 17th General Conference is Health is the Greatest Wealth. So we all need to be healthy for us to reach our goal.
အနာယောဂ
Health is the greatest gift. Contentment is the greatest wealth. A trusted friend is the best relative, and Nibbana is the greatest happiness. Therefore, the best luck is to live healthily. The most depressing time in the world is the unhealthy time. It badly affects all the things that we have, and it is easy to do things when we are healthy and happy. Therefore, we are taking care of our health. We feel depressed when we are sick. We look for something to rely on. And Buddha gave us the 5 ways for those who are looking for something to rely on. And keeping those 5 ways will have great advantages. Number 1, try to see your body as ugly. Number 2, contemplate on the foods that you eat as not pleasant. Number 3, think of all the unhappy situations of the world. Number 4, recollect that nothing is permanent. Number 5, always contemplate on death, our own death and the death of others. Buddha said that we can be arhats if we contemplate this correctly. So we need to keep practice so that we can remain as healthy sons and daughters of the Buddha. The next thing is that we need to be consistent with the 4 factors: karma, mind, temperature, and nutrition for good health. The current disease has been caused by the actions of human beings. Buddha said that there are 3 factors if there is an outbreak of infection. Number 1, visamanobha, evil greed can be found in the world. It means competing and destroying each other. They are trying to form bad deeds, bad karma. Number 2, Adamaraga. Sexual misconduct is widely practiced in the world, and it is the negative sign for human society. Number 3, Michaditi. The world is no more stable because of the wrong views, the lack of sympathy, and lack of respect for others. Therefore, human beings are facing the worst conditions. It is important that loving kindness, compassion, altruistic, joy, and equanimity are required for human beings in the world.
Mudita. သူတို့ဘာတွေကြီးပွားချမ်းသာတာကိုမနာလို့တောင်းတုံနေမဲ့အစားဝန္တာပီတိဖြစ်အောင်ဝိနေကြရမယ်။ဒါပါလေဥပေက္ခကိုဖြစ်ချင်တဲ့အတိုင်းမဖြစ်လို့ဆိုပြီးတော့ဒေါသတွေဖြစ်နေမဲ့အစားစိတ်ကိုတည်ငြိမ်အောင်ထေချောင်ပြီးတော့ငါတို့အစွမ်းကိုကြိုးစားပါလေအသားနဲ့မအောင်မြင်တော့ကံတရားပေါ်လေဆိုပြီးတော့
Loving kindness is needed to be essential role in everything we do in our lives. Compassion, we need to help those who are in danger and troubles to be free from such dangers. Altruistic joy, we have to rejoice instead of being jealous of others' wealth and success. Equanimity, we should have self-control instead of being angry when we didn't get what we want. In addition, we should remind ourselves that everything is according to destiny. If we human beings keep these points, the world will be healthy again. The next thing is that the mind is really important for the health. There is a proverb in Myanmar which is youthful appearance or old appearance is a result of suffering from stress and strain. We need to control it with Dhamma to have pure mind. If we have a pure mind, the blood becomes purified and is less disease in the body. This is my own experience. I've been teaching Buddha's Dhamma for 25 years. The cancer patient also survived and recovered from suffering because of Dhamma. And there were many patients who also recovered from suffering. Now I would like to mention about my country, Myanmar. The strong-minded people can overcome the COVID, but weak-minded people feel depressed after looking at the posts from social media and couldn't control themselves and finally died. They think they will surely die, and when they have low oxygen level and feel depressed, they think no more about the natural ways of getting more oxygen. As you all know, that the political situation of Myanmar is complex and there are many difficulties. The death rate increased, therefore we need to control our mind with mindfulness. In conclusion, we need not only Dhamma, but also healthy living lifestyle. Thank you.
Respectable speakers, for your inspiring speeches. Now let us take a 10-minute break. And we would like
Thank you, most venerable speakers. Let's take a short break and we will share with you a short film during the crisis of pandemic. Master Shikwanru never stopped practicing and propagating Buddhism.
various monasteries all over the world. This short film will reveal to you some highlight moments of WBSY.
This short film will also reveal to you some highlights of past conferences of WBSY.
To continue practice the ways of Bodhisattva, giving the great compassion.
Master Shikanru will show in this film how she has with her disciples sprinkled great compassion water in the most severely affected areas of Taiwan.
Thank you.
Please enjoy the film.
大家对这个疫情呢都非常的恐慌无助哈。那我们今天呢捐赠一些防护衣啦、头罩跟这个口罩啊，而且很重要的是，我们有捐了这个大悲咒水这个法宝啊，它会让疫情退散啊，那么病患就好得快，那么这个确诊的指数也会下降，也是我们医护人员一个保护，大家一起防疫哈，一起作战。现在呢，功德山的僧团来到桃园医院，这里有爆发医护人员的这个产生确诊，你送大悲咒水，希望他们能够得到改善然后呢，来这里片赏，希望这里平安不要再有疫情。 现在还在处于疫情的变种，这个是令人更加的紧张的所以我们大家不能放松对于修行要更加的精进，对佛法更加有信心。我们要不断的来累积功德多做利他的事情多修福报多做功德也多为一切众生来做功德希望一切众生都免于灾难希望呢能够突破这次这个这么危险的变种的疫情希望由于我们大家的努力能够更光明吉祥，能够更加的消灾希望呢世界都能够和平希望呢佛力更加的来加持我们希望佛光普照天下太平阿弥陀佛。大家对这个疫情都非常的恐慌无助那我们今天捐赠一些防护衣啦、头罩跟这个口罩而且很重要的是，我们有捐了这个大悲咒水这个法宝它会让疫情退散那么病患会好得快，那么这个确诊的指数也会下降，也是我们医护人员一个保护，大家一起防疫一起作战。